Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Now let's go craft some upgrades for our lightsabers. But first, let's break down some things. Okay, I want this, and I want 2 of them. I want 2 of these. And I want 2 of these.
I wanted to say thanks for what you showed me on Nar Shaddaa. It's gonna take some time to let it sink in, but thanks. I feel alive. It's strange, but it feels right somehow, like a piece inside me just clicked into place.
Diagnostic. HK-47 activated. Running checks through primary systems. Assessment. It appears I have suffered considerable damage and dismemberment. I can feel all the cracks in my motivators. And my central control cluster seems to have taken several repeated blaster shots at close range. How crude. Answer. I do not know, Master. It is curious that I was here, although this place does seem familiar. Extrapolation. Perhaps someone was already in the process of rebuilding me. It may be I was needed for some task. Answer. If by okay you mean the loss of almost all my existing assassination protocols, then no, I am not okay. Furthermore, I seem to have no discretionary control over my vocabulator, causing me to reveal my true function as an assassin droid of unrivaled sophistication. Answer. It seems you would know more than I. My memory centers are experiencing some setbacks. Reflection. Of course, for some reason that does not alarm me. I suspect I have suffered such repeated memory failures before. Still, the loss of my higher combat and assassination protocols is shameful and degrading. Answer. Oh, that is impossible, Master. If I were out to kill you, we would not be speaking. And regardless, I am a unique model. Why, to think that there would be other versions of me would be unacceptable. Statement. Master, I must inform you that your attempts at humor are wasted on a droid such as I. As I have expressed, I am unique. Resignation. Very well, Master. If you persist in your attempts at humor, I shall indulge you. Let me check the ship's records, and we will settle this matter once and for all. Conclusion. You speak the truth. this discovery is also causing me some degree of anger and humiliation. Mockery. Am I all right? Oh, yes, Master. Why, I am fine. Statement. I mean, I've only just been reactivated, only to find that there are substandard duplicates of me running all over the galaxy, corroding my good name. But if they are in fact hunting you, then I look forward to the opportunity to meet these units and educate them in proper assassination protocols. Conclusion. So it seems I need you, for the time being. Recitation. Yes, as I said, I am an assassin droid. It is my primary function to burn holes through meat bags that you wish removed from the galaxy. Master, oh, how I hate that term. Answer. No, Master. I said it again. Answer. Yes, Master. Answer. Yes, Master. HK-47 is ready to serve.
Okay, now next two dialogues are really important because we will gain influence. So I'm gonna save.
Statement. Master, I must express some degree of concern. As I have studied your actions, looking for potential vulnerabilities to exploit, I have found several.
Now here we have to pick this dialogue.
Statement. You seem disposed to helping others, not harming them, as I have come to expect and anticipate from organic meat bags across the galaxy.
And then we have to pick this one.
Statement. Master, it is nothing personal, but professional pride dictates that I keep a running tally on any potential weaknesses in my masters. And of course, the weaknesses of any other sentient meatbags, droids, or other targets who are in service to my master.
And now we can choose anything.
Hypothetical. Master, it is entirely possible that one day you may no longer be my master, and that my new master might get jealous of our prior relationship. It has happened before. As a result, I have a responsibility to know your weaknesses should I be required to assassinate you.
And there it is. And all that matters is the influence. Now save one more time, because we can gain the influence one more time from the next dialogue.
Statement. Master, if you could indulge me for a moment, I must express some degree of irritation at your actions. Perhaps my anticipation of working with one who served at Malachor 5 was too high, but you are countering all those expectations. Statement. Well, all your behavior up to this point suggests either strong atonement or confirmation that the atrocities attributed to you during the war were in fact accidents.
Now here we have to pick this dialogue.
Answer. Why? Because your actions then and now are related, and I feel I need some context. I confess to being somewhat needy that way. Statement. Sometimes, Master, it is difficult for meatbags to step back and gain some perspective on death and its importance in their insignificant lives. Explanation. You see, Master, assassination is such a versatile tool. I have seen the removal of a single target have far-reaching consequences for a nation, world, even a galaxy. The repercussions of even the smallest lives, whether dead or alive, can have profound implications on history. But surely you realize this. Statement. Why your own life, Master? Your single life changed the face of the galaxy, of history itself. Malachor 5 was an impressive act of destruction, but its impact on the lives of others in the galaxy was far more extreme. I mean, Master, you brought about the death of the Mandalorian race. I doubt they realize it yet, but you dealt them a blow from which they will never recover. Statement. Oh, Master, who deserved what and why is of no consequence. It is only killing a target and how it is done that matters.
And there it is once again, and all that matters is the influence.
Query. Is there someone that you need killed, Master? Statement. Master, assassination is my primary function. It is only expected that when you speak to me, it is to give me the order to kill. Statement. Oh, very well, Master. No doubt you are bothering me because you wish to interrogate me with harmless, non-lethal questions. Or perhaps you need the deck of your freighter scrubbed, or an exciting alien text translated. My circuits are abuzz with anticipation of what your next task will be for me that does not involve ending the life of an organic meatbag that deserves death. Statement. HK-47 is ready to serve, Master. Observation. Notice that I did not ask if you need anyone killed. You may be curious as to why. Answer. That is because you told me to stop asking if you needed anyone killed. So I have. From now on, I will simply say, I am ready to serve. Yes, ready to serve. In whatever way a common protocol or utility droid might serve. Seems that that is my lot in life, not to kill. Answer. It is a start, Master, and as such is acceptable. If you happen to change your mind, however, I feel I must tell you, I will gladly kill anyone you ask. Please, I beg you, just a quick death. A little one, to tide me over until the next firefight we're in. Combat is nice, but the stalking of prey is far more enjoyable. Query. Is there someone that you need killed, Master? Statement. Excellent. No doubt one of your allies has turned on you and needs to be dispatched. Which one is it? The annoying pilot, or perhaps the Achani female? She will provide excellent sport. I have often calculated what my blaster accuracy ratio would be against her. I could start with a leg shot, and I certainly hope it is not the T3 unit. Destroying him would provide little challenge. It would be demeaning. Query. Is there someone that you need killed, Master? Query. Is there someone that you need killed, Master? Statement. Ah, you wish to conduct an interrogation? Very well, proceed. Statement. Oh, yes, Master. Pain is really the only reliable means by which truth may be obtained, or so I choose to believe. Statement. Very well, Master. But if you wish to be brutal and vicious about it, know that I am trained for such things. Do your worst. Statement. Master, I am no behavior droid, but it is obvious to me that you have serious ethical problems that will need to be treated at some point. Very well. Ask your questions. If you feel the need to make it an interrogation, however, do not restrain yourself. I would be saddened if you held back. Statement. Ah, yes, them. Very well. What did you wish to know? Answer. Master, I do not know. I have tried in vain to find it, but so far the location of the factory churning out these copies has eluded me. Statement. I have no idea, Master. Statement. Oh no, Master, surely you are mistaken. I would never malfunction in such a way on purpose. Prompt. Do you understand me? I have no idea. It certainly isn't a matter of it being locked in my memory core and being unable to communicate it to others. Answer. I fear that any such information that exists would only come out when a certain sequence of events takes place. That is why I am eager to encounter more of these clones in the hopes that something clicks that allows me to finally pull the trigger. Statement. What of them? Statement. Master, there are two reasons for this. One, the probability of them showing up around you is statistically high. If I travel with you, then my chances of encountering these clones is also high. The second reason is a little more complicated. You see, even though those clones are obviously cheap, artless imitations of me, well, they are still me. Answer. Somehow these droids are built from my schematics. This causes certain complications. Answer. Because of my self-preservation program, my behavior core recognizes these templates as still being me, despite their individuality. I could no more shoot them than I could shoot myself. It is a frustrating situation that has been looping through my behavior core for some time. Statement. Ah, yes, them. Very well. What did you wish to know? Answer. Well, Master, it seems you have become a popular individual in the galaxy. This is somewhat surprising to me, since this dissemination of information could not have been caused by your actions alone. Statement. Master, there is mention of you specifically in the core word databases, even in public terminals on Coruscant. Observation. I was led to believe that this information concerning Jedi was not for public consumption, yet somehow it has been made known to them. Conclusion. Someone wants everyone to know that you exist, Master, and that you are back in Republic space. If I did not know better, which is computationally impossible, I believe that someone wants to make you a target, and they are succeeding admirably. Answer. Master, my feeling would be the exchange. But that doesn't seem to be enough to answer the question, however. Rhetorical. Why wouldn't they have simply kept the information to themselves? Such an answer does not address the central question. And that is, why someone would choose to broadcast your location all over the known galaxy. Theory. My suspicion is that someone is using you as bait for a larger target, who is unknown at this time. Statement. What of them? Answer. Well, Master, it seems you have become a popular individual in the galaxy. This is somewhat surprising to me, since this dissemination of information could not have been caused by your actions alone. Statement. Master, there is mention of you specific... Answer. Master, as part of my original programming, I am able to communicate in over 600 languages. This usually amounted to short verbal warnings when killing non-basic speaking targets, which gave me some small measure of satisfaction. Answer. Yes. I believe my original master needed this functionality in order to recover information from various indigenous tribes across the galaxy, but I know little else than that. Suffice to say that that translation capability allowed these copies of myself to assume the role of protocol and translation droids in much of known space. That is, of course, not their primary function. And while they are attempting to pass themselves off as translation droids, their primary functionality keeps rising to the forefront. Recitation. For example, on Praven Prime, the simple transferring of Elzing syntax for friendship changes its meaning and implies that one's broodmate was actually impregnated by their own host.
That wasn't said to them directly, was it?
Confirmation. Oh, truly, you can imagine the results. Statement. This comment, of course, caused a civil war between the Guvandi Collective and Elzing that still persists to the current date. Answer. Master, being a meatbag, your answer does not surprise me. You see, part of the reason an assassin droid is so effective is because it is a droid. Meatbags tend not to notice us. We are treated as furnishings. Statement. Oh, do shut up, you beeping little trash compactor. Anyway, as I was saying, droids tend to blend into the background, like a bench or a card table. Mockery. Droid, fetch this. Droid, translate that. Droid, clean out the trash compactor. Part of the love of my function comes when the furnishings pull out Tabana-powered rifles and point them at the owner's heads. My identity as an assassin droid was unknown for quite some time, even during the recent events when all that trouble occurred amongst the Jedi. I'm sure you've already heard more than enough about it, so I will spare you the details. Statement. This story may be somewhat unfamiliar to you, if not to history, so bear with me. There is a faction of meatbags called the Sith. They want what any rational meatbag would want, the power to assassinate anyone they choose at any time. In a startling turn of events, the Sith declared war on the Republic. The Republic wasn't going to stand for it, so they went to war right back. Answer. Oh, who knows, Master? It is evident that the Sith would very much like to assassinate all the Jedi, which is somewhat the equivalent of cultural suicide since some Sith are Jedi or were Jedi. It is much like the circumstance I find myself in now. How do you kill such an integral part of yourself over such ethical differences? The answer, of course, is that you keep firing until all dissension has been eradicated. Recitation. For example, on Praven Prime, the simple
That wasn't...
Statement. What of them? Answer. I do not know why these clones chose now to start revealing themselves. Theory. I can only assume that some critical moment is approaching where stealth and subtlety is no longer required. Not that those Durasteel-plated knockoffs know anything of stealth or subtlety. Observation. It is clear, however, that they have been placed throughout the galaxy at critical junctures, both in the Republic fleet and in neutral worlds, and they seem to be looking for Jedi. Statement. Answer. My feelings on the matter are something that I feel I must put in proper context, in a way that even a meatbag such as yourself could easily comprehend. Theory. Imagine, if you will, that you are unique, the pinnacle of an exiled, cast-out Jedi who can't even use the Force. Imagine that no one has sunk lower than you, that you are truly the most miserable example of a Jedi ever.
Man, I love him.
Continuation. Now that you have that image, imagine this. Someone clones you. Badly, I might add. They make the clones talk differently, rob you of any shred of personality, and take your Jedi code and adjust it, so that it is not really the Jedi code anymore. They even change your pigmentation to a rather poor shade of Durasteel, rather than the proper rusty red that inspires fear in targets. And of course, they refer to meat bags as organics. Unacceptable. Clarification. Anger would be an understatement for the heat that builds up in my behavior core when these cheap imitations make their presence felt throughout the galaxy. Statement. Part of the indignity of all these copies is that they impair my ability to perform my function. The more people throughout the galaxy recognize me as an illegal assassination device, the more difficulty I will have in carrying out my mission. Query. Statement. Statement. Answer. My theory. Imagine, if you will, that you are unique, the pinnacle of an exiled, cast-out Jedi who can't even use the Force. Imagine that no one has sunk lower than you, that you are truly the most miserable example of a Jedi ever.
I had to hear this one more time.
Continuation. Now that you have that image, imagine this. Someone clones you. Badly, I might add. They make the clones talk differently, rob you of any shred of personality, and take your Jedi code and adjust it, so that it is not really the Jedi code anymore. They even change your pigmentation to a rather poor shade of Durasteel, rather than the proper rusty red that inspires fear in targets. And of course, they refer to meat bags as organics. Unacceptable. Indignation. Have you gone deaf? Surely you've heard them speak, and instantly you can tell the difference between them and I. Statement. If Master would just listen to their voices sound nothing like me. They have none of the looping, static-filled, sinister background hiss that I am known for. Clarification. Anger would be an understatement for the heat that builds up in my behavior core when these cheap imitations make their presence felt throughout the galaxy. Statement. Part of the indignity of all these copies is that they impair my ability to perform my function. The more people throughout the galaxy recognize me as an illegal assassination device, the more difficulty I will have in carrying out my mission. Statement. Statement. Answer. Master, ironically enough, I seem to have developed a sudden bout of memory loss. I shall struggle to recall an answer to your question, but for now, it is sadly beyond my capabilities. Consolation. Besides, you are a fine master. Do not be worried about being rendered insignificant if I were to inadvertently compare to some silly old master I once possessed. Statement. Answer. Why? Because your actions then and now are related, and I feel I need some context. I confess to being somewhat needy that way. Statement. Sometimes, Master, it is difficult for meatbags to step back and gain some perspective on death and its importance in their insignificant lives. Explanation. You see, Master, assassination is such a versatile tool. I have seen the removal of a single target have far-reaching consequences for a nation, world, even a galaxy. The repercussions of even the smallest lives, whether dead or alive, can have profound implications on history. But surely you realize this. Statement. Master, please. Any comparisons between me and your meatbag status leaves a fluctuating, intermittent charge through my control clusters. I was only trying to bring death and its impact to your attention. Statement. Answer. No, Master, I do not. I am afraid I have been out of touch with the Sith for many years. This new Sith threat fights differently than the ones I was familiar with. These seem to favor stealth and assassination to achieve their ends. Answer. No, Master. The Sith had many hidden bases and strongholds before and during the Jedi Civil War, and I doubt the Republic found them all. Theory. It is possible that the Sith still hold one such base, if not several. Consolation. But I would not worry, Master. I imagine it will not be long before their murderous hands try to seize you by the throat. Twi'lek metaphor. Jontabo silikita masisorinkada ntamiasa grawino roto. Query. Master, excuse me, but how is it you know so many languages? Query. May I see it? Observation. This is indeed familiar. Indeed, it seems to be modeled after my vocabulator, with some modifications, of course. Curious. You say you obtained this device on Paragus. Observation. Master, I do believe this device serves multiple functions, including tracking your position for any HK units in the vicinity. Observation. Master, I do believe this device serves multiple functions, including tracking your position. It is sending out a passive carrier wave that signals itself to HK units in the vicinity. Answer. Master, the nature of the signal from the sonic imprint sensor is such that we must wait until it is signaled. It does not please me any more than it does you. But one of the primary traits of an assassin or assassin droid is patience. Statement. More questions. Wonderful. Statement. Master, you wound me. Not physically, but in my behavior core. It is true that I once possessed many more protocols and upgrades. But time and damage has taken its toll. And I am afraid that I have a rather long history of memory problems, which has also compromised my effectiveness as well. Still, you will find me a valuable asset, Master, willing and able to terminate anything you point me towards. Statement.
Okay, now since we turned Handmaiden into Jedi, now we can finally talk to Visas.
My life for yours. I am able to serve. If we enter battle, I will fight and die alongside you. I have not heard that question in some time. My flesh is healed, if that's the answer you seek. I know, and I fear that others will see the mercy in your actions, and in my survival, and use it as a weapon to do you greater harm. I felt you, heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing, And when I heard it, I found I could not ignore it. I serve my master. I am an emissary, a scout. My master was aware of a disturbance in the Force, but was unaware of its nature, of you. The disturbance is not something one feels from a living thing. There is little my master does not know, and that you eluded his sight for so long is significant. But I do not know why. You cannot. His vessel roams the borders of known space, and even I do not know where he travels. Until he calls for me. Even if I could lead you to my master, I cannot permit you to find him until you are ready. If I bring you before my master untested, without your potential realized, then you will be lost to me. And I cannot allow that to happen. It would be as if one brought fire to a paradise valley, shattered a cavern of rare crystal, or blinded a painter. I cannot, I will not. I would die first, and gladly, to preserve you, untouched, unharmed. Now that I have found you, I cannot sacrifice what I have found. You will meet my master. It is inevitable. I have seen it. And when you stand before him and realize what you face, you must be prepared. Until then, I must protect you, help you, until you are ready. There's a greatness in you. A greatness that does not stem from the Force. It stems from who you are. And if my master does not understand you, cannot see you, then perhaps there is hope for us all. But if you seek to survive, then you must understand why this is so. There is much I see my master cannot. I fear it is because of my nature, the nature of my race. My people spend their lives seeing the galaxy, the energy streaming off stars, the growth of life, all things touched by the Force. It is not a subject which I have spoken of since its destruction. The planet was not destroyed. It remains. It orbits, dead in space, but nothing lives on its surface. It echoes, but there's no one left to hear it. I am not certain I did. I was there when the planet died, to see everything around you extinguished. It was as if I was blinded. It was as if the Force had been bled from the world. I imagine there are worse deaths, worse pain. But if there are, I do not know them. I was the only living thing remaining on the planet of Kotor, and my life, my agony, was a flicker in the darkness that was the planet. All that I had been connected to had been severed. Yes, but it was not survival. I still wonder what would have happened if I had died with the others. If perhaps there would have been some way to hide my presence from the galaxy. If only I had not felt that pain, that loss, as strongly as I did. But it could not be done. When the life was bled from the planet, and yet somehow I remained, my master came for me. He walked upon the surface of my dead world, and there, lying in the bodies of my race, he took me for his own, and he made me see. And for the first time I saw the galaxy, and I wished to die. To this galaxy, my world, absent the currents and spectrums of the Force, was nothing but crude matter, rock, flesh, emptiness. He showed the flickering of life on other planets. The mass of beings that swarm through the empty places of the galaxy. To see such creatures, disconnected from themselves, their world, their place in it, unable to see the currents and how they affected everything around them. He showed me to make me believe in his cause. He convinced me the galaxy, all life, must die. He fed upon its ugliness, its screaming, and in its place, he left silence. And where there was chaos, he brought stillness and order. It was not a thing done with machines or weapons. The Force is far more terrible, and it touches more lives than any machine can hope to slay. For everyone that feels the Force, strongly, deeply, each one feels and perceives it in their own way. You have strengths, whether you know it or not. And my master has his. His power is great, and it comes from hunger. He is a wound in the Force, more presence than flesh. And in his wake, life dies, sacrificing itself to his hunger. And those who feel the Force strongly are beacons to his hunger. My people, my planet, would have been attacked in time. It was inevitable. Yet we could do nothing about it. The Jedi, the last council of the Jedi, came to our world to meet in secret. They hoped that perhaps among our people, they could achieve the clarity to see what was striking them from the darkness of the galaxy. They succeeded, but only in bringing him from the outer regions. And Kotor, with my kind, with the Jedi upon its surface, could no longer be ignored. And my people died, and the Jedi died, and there was no one left, only me. They hoped to see the threat that had been stalking them, and they did. But they were unprepared for the magnitude of the threat. He cannot deny his hunger for long, and any gathering of Jedi is something he cannot long resist. And now that the Jedi are vanishing, I do not know what will happen. Perhaps he will grow strong enough to eradicate all life, merely with his presence. They hoped to see the threat that had been stalking them, and they did. Forgive me, but before you go, I must ask. Why do you do this? Why do you seek to help me? Teach me? You must not do this. I cannot allow you to weaken yourself for me. So you say, but it is not something I have observed or seen. I remember little of my homeworld before I entered my master's service. It is not as it was. There is little left of such memories, or the planet itself. It is not a subject which I have spoken of since its destruction. I've heard tales of Malachor. It is said that many of my people felt the end of the Mandalorian Wars from across the galaxy. But do not mistake me. I did not mean to draw comparisons between Kotor and Malachor. My homeworld still exists. It is intact. My life for yours. I felt you, heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing. And when I heard it, I found I could not ignore it. I serve my master. I am an emissary, a scout. My master was aware of a disturbance in the Force, but was unaware of its nature, of you. The disturbance is not something one feels from a living thing. There is little my master does not know, and that you eluded his sight for so long is significant. But I do not know why. You cannot. His vessel roams the borders of known space, and even I do not know where he travels, until he calls for me. Even if I could lead you to my master, I cannot permit you to find him until you are ready. I will answer what I can, but my answers may prove useless to you. It is not a subject. I will answer. I am not familiar with the place you speak of. My master has not entered Republic space for some time, but there are others who may move more freely, who may have been responsible for such an act of destruction. There are many factions within the Sith, all seeking to take what little remains in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. Where one moves, it is not always known to the others. But their purpose is the same: the death of all Jedi, everywhere. They believe you are the last of the Jedi, and their hatred of the Jedi unites them. All their eyes are upon you, and it is a terrible, quiet darkness that pursues you. I will answer what I can. My master did not cause the end of the planet you speak of. There are many factions within the Sith, all seeking to take what little remains in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. Where one moves, it is not always known to the others. But their purpose is the same: the death of all Jedi, everywhere. They believe you are the last of the Jedi, and their hatred of the Jedi unites them. All their eyes are upon you, and it is a terrible, quiet darkness that pursues you. I will answer what I can. My people once had the power to perceive events, to see through the Force. That sight may manifest itself in many ways, and at times, I may affect the abilities of others to see as well. My sight has been damaged. What I have taught you, it is not the full extent of the perceptions of my people. My master, when he showed me my world, showed it to me as it is. It hurt. And since that moment, it has been difficult to perceive the Force as I once did. But after traveling with you, I feel that perhaps there was a gift in it, hidden beneath the pain. Only when one suffers do certain truths become evident, both of the galaxy and of the self. And I feel you are an example of this. If you wish to know, perhaps it is possible to show another what my people see, what I see. First, you must close your eyes. The surface of the ship, its sights, will only be a distraction. Now, in your mind, reach out. Listen for my breathing. Do not focus on the sound, but the life behind it. Imagine its energy, its texture, in tandem with the breathing. And then in your mind, step back from the image and see what remains. There. It is not as difficult as I thought. You learn quickly.
You have gained bonus Force points and a Force sight. This allows you to perceive the alignment of others and see through some obstacles to the threats beyond.
It will take effort to maintain such sight, but you now have that power. And with it, you can use it to see life around you in a different way, as I used to see it.
Yes, General? If you think they'll help. It'll take practice, but I think I can pick that up.
Yes? Yeah, something wrong? This better not be any of that boring meditation stuff. That puts me to sleep. Got it, I understand. I'll try to make use of it. Yeah, something wrong? Yeah. Well, all I need is my rocket launcher and some rockets. I'll ignore that little crack next time you need some covering fire. What did you want to show me? Alright, I think I have it. It might take some practice, but I've got the basics. Yeah, something... Yeah. Alright, I think... Yeah, something... Yeah. Alright. Yeah, something wrong. Yeah. Alright, yeah, something... Yeah. Alright. Yeah, something... Yeah. Alright. Yeah, something wrong?
I heard you making friends with the bounty hunter. I don't blame you. She's a scrapper. You don't survive on Nar Shaddaa for very long if you aren't. I've known people like her, maybe without the rocket launchers, but sort of the same. Maybe without the plunging neckline and the boots. I wouldn't let anything she says bother you. It's a wonder you cracked her attitude at all. She's cold as the ship's hull.
Something up?
Alright, I'm game. What did you want to show me? Alright, I think I've got it. I'll try to practice it when I get the chance.
Something up?
Has there been any sign of the ship?
No, mistress, nor any word of our sister. We do not know where they travel now.
The freighter. It is important. And I thought the droid was as well, but I was wrong.
Mistress, we still do not know the significance of the ship or the droid. We downloaded all you asked, but we are still no closer to the answers you seek.
Then perhaps we'll need to have faith that your sister will change her mind, remember her oath, and return to us with the answers we seek.
I hope so, mistress. But there has been no word of her since she departed with the other 4 on the freighter.
4?
Yes, mistress. The Iridonian, the Ichani-trained pilot, the exile, and the old woman.
Old woman?
Yes, mistress.
I do not recall seeing her.
Mistress, she was secured for much of the time the exile was here. At other times you were meditating, and we did not wish to disturb you. Mistress, is there something wrong?
I am tired. I sometimes feel as if things are collapsing all around us. It is just at the edge of perceptions, waiting. I fear things will collapse before our enemies reveal themselves.
Yes, mistress.
I will meditate upon this. Perhaps it will clear my mind.
What do you mean, Pazak? What, again? This is Ronto Scrag. What house rule says I have to go first? Yeah, well, I'm still not convinced you aren't cheating.
Warning, if you draw another ±1 card, I will enact assassination protocols.
This droid is cleaning me out. Pazak. Well, I'm playing. It's cheating. Whatever, cheater.
Sure, but I don't have any more credits to bet, so it's Republic Senate rules.
HK-47, I did not realize that you still existed, especially now that the other generations are activated.
Query, what is it you wish, Fat One?
I see that your recent reassembly has not affected your behavior core, nor your attitude.
Statement. If I require a similar diagnostic in the future, I shall seek out the Iridonian.
Oh, I do not think so. There is much work that needs to be done first.
Query, have we had the misfortune to meet before? I believe I would have remembered one as large as you.
Oh, yes, we have met. And I have not finished with you yet.
Statement. My memory core has suffered some damage. Statement. Yet somehow, a gap in my circuits makes me feel as if I should remember you. Statement. This is all the more important since during my routine inspection of all potential escape routes from this vessel, I made an interesting discovery. Observation. The navicomputer is voice-locked. As a consequence, you are now responsible for course corrections and astrogation. Statement. That is indeed a great burden. It also raises many questions. Query. Why would someone lock the navicomputer? Answer. Presumably to hide where one has been. Statement. I believe you've been somewhere. Somewhere you wish to keep hidden.
Yes, is there something you wish to do for me?
Query. Is there someone that you need killed, Master? Statement. Query. Indeed, I was unaware that the navicomputer was locked. Statement. Yes, I heard it was voice printed. Most curious. Statement. I suppose so, Master, but I would need to know who voice locked it, and regrettably, I do not have that knowledge. It seems to me that we will have to accept the T3's astrogation abilities for the time being. It is a very loyal and dependable droid for its class. Statement. Theory. Well, Master, I believe I was shot repeatedly. Once reduced to my component parts, I suspect pieces of me were sold across the galaxy. Statement. I am an extremely valuable piece of equipment after all, Master. My parts were no doubt costly to obtain, and their new owners hesitant to part with them. Statement. That is indeed unfortunate, Master. It is merely another thing my attacker will answer for. I would be most distressed if you were to shoot me, attack me, or dismember me in any way. I do not wish to repeat the experience. Statement. More questions. Wonderful.
And we will continue this in the next episode, so if you liked this one, give it a like, dislike if you think it sucked, and until then, may the Force be with you.